The Secret of Dark West by Andrew Hawnt. "Show me what my money has brought me," Leonard Faraday demanded from beneath the oversized brim of his dark grey hat. "I hate being here as much as you love it." Benny smirked. "Sure, Mr. Faraday, step over here and let's talk." Faraday glanced at his two guards and nodded back towards the man sat on the steps outside the slum of the Kiki D block. They followed him over the street, the limo behind them sealing itself in a bulletproof shell as they did. Benny grinned. He loved Faraday's theatrics. "I need to know if everything's ready. Are you going to deliver, or do I find myself another willing business associate in Dark West?" Benny stood and glared down at Faraday, who was easily 8 inches shorter. "Now I know your boys are armed, Mr. Faraday, but don't think we aren't prepared. Dark West knows me, looks out for me. There's no trouble here that doesn't get paid back. Understand?" Faraday's goons slid hands into pockets. Benny got the message. "I got it all set up." He pointed to the sprawl of Edge 1, its neon-bathed city spires piercing the sky, some of its tallest structures making the fog that hung around them glow with the pink and cyan haze. That city won't know what hit it. It's going to be something else. "Midnight. Everything's ready for midnight, yes?" "Yes, sir," Benny grinned. "The party will start at midnight on the dot. 32 minutes to go until your money pays off." "It had better do, Benjamin. Dark West has had more than its fair share from me. Everything you wanted, everything anyone involved wanted. I've funded more sordid desires in the last 3 months with you than any government in history. We've all got our wants, haven't we?" "We have indeed. Where are the troops?" "Well, what's in it for us?" Faraday choked, outraged. "What? You asking for more? Now? Typical Dark West ganger. I feed you, I supply your drugs and your whores and your weapons and everything you need to build what I asked for. Now you had better deliver it, or these will be your final moments alive." Benny glanced around at high windows and shadowy alcoves in the crumbling apartment blocks and forgotten warehouses of the town he was part of. He nodded. The shots were instantaneous, both hitting their targets perfectly, tearing the heads off of Faraday's goons and toppling their corpses like expensively dressed mannequins. Faraday stood screaming, his coat soaked in blood and viscous chunks of brain and face. "Stop your screaming," Benny said. He bounded closer to Faraday and punched him square in the mouth, dislodging 2 teeth and splitting the billionaire's lip. "Now you listen to Benny, rich man. Follow me." Faraday saw the laser sights now, their beams converging on him as Benny sauntered around the corner from Kiki D block. He followed, trying not to think of the gore that covered him, or the fact that the pass for the limo was in their coats somewhere. He focused on Benny. Dark West was even worse than he remembered. Gangs stared at him from beneath filthy caps, whores delirious on stim and doses of white eyes, buildings that were on the verge of crumbling, the husks of burned cars, the boarded windows of businesses that had probably died when their owners had. It was a long way from his penthouse in Edge 1. "Here we are," Benny said, stopping beside a makeshift tent in the middle of the street. He held an entrance flap open. "Come see where your money went." "No," Faraday sneered. "You're only going to kill me. Why bother?" Benny stepped back towards him, slowly this time. "What did you think was going to happen? You send money and drugs and guns and everything else that makes people do stupid things into a town full of lost people? You try and turn us into an army so you can take over Edge 1 and live like a king? What about your faithful subjects, your majesty? What would we get when you take over as king of the castle, eh? You wouldn't give us another thought. You'd leave us to die. I gave you everything you wanted." "No, Mr. Leonard Faraday. You gave us the things that would keep us hooked, keep us hiding, keep us doing bad things so we wouldn't try and leave Dark West. You didn't give us what we wanted. What we wanted was a chance to be over there ourselves, to live clean, good lives of real food and no disease. Be real people. What you did was take advantage of the shit that people like you have forced us into and made it worse for your own gain." You're scum. You and everyone in Dark West. You'll never change. You'll never be part of Edge One. You're animals here. Animals in a slum cage where you belong. Benny grabbed him by the lapel. You know what you've got here? Yeah, Dark West isn't somewhere you'd want to raise your kids, but we're not stupid. We suffer. We think. We're angry. You know the junkies and the prostitutes and gangers and killers here? We got scientists among us, engineers, soldiers, thinkers. You treat us like animals so you can get your shot at the big leagues in Edge One. But what if those leagues cease to be? He pulled Faraday into the tent, hesitated a moment, and flung the man down the rough staircase that it was covering. Faraday landed heavily on the floor of the subterranean chamber, twisted, spitting blood and moaning in pain. "It's okay," Benny smiled as he came down the steps. "Here's what your money bought." Benny pulled Faraday up, and other hands joined him. Faraday saw them then, the people of Dark West, the secret beneath their streets, the secret his money had built. "Where's my army?" "Who needs an army when you can achieve the same goal with one shot?" Benny grinned. Faraday was raised up and held in place with chains. More chains soon crisscrossed his body as workers brought more. They made sure that he would be the meat between Edge One and the detonator. The massive charge was affixed to a heavy-duty steel platform which was connected to ancient railway tracks. Faraday could feel the hum of reactors inside it. He knew the segmented surface of the monstrous sphere meant that it would become much more than just one charge. It would cause unimaginable devastation. Engines were powered and ready. "Congratulations," Benny said flatly to the immobile Faraday as the engines were set in motion. "You still get to be the man who brought down the city." Faraday's screams could only be heard for a few seconds as the platform accelerated underground. But the workers of Dark West knew they would last all the way back to the foundations of Edge One.